Hello to Carol and all your lovely readers at Reading, Writing and Riesling. I'm Wendy James and I'm here with you today talking to you from the chaos of my study, which is also a storeroom, as you can probably tell, where all the junk goes. And I'm here today to talk to you about my latest novel, The Golden Child, which is just out now. Carol has asked me to talk in particular about characters and where they come from. And in general, as well as about the new novels. So I'll start there. I think you've probably heard authors talk about characters before, and I'm probably no different in that my characters in my novels come from a lot of places. They come from both real life and my imagination, and also sometimes, a little bit from other books as well. That's always an interesting one. But mostly they're a mishmash of people I know. I mean, you might start off trying to put a person you actually know into a novel, but inevitably they end up not actually being that person exactly, but something quite different, something quite original and unique. And also what goes into it, of course, is your imagination. You might see somebody, I'm sure we've all played the game of people watching and seeing people, who are in shopping centres or down the street or when we're at bus stops, and you watch them and, make up things about their lives just based on their physical appearance or something you might hear them say or do, or the way they behave, to their boyfriend, or you can sometimes work out an entire life for them. And I guess that's what authors get to do when they're writing novels, is invent those lives and flesh them out, and you end up making them pretty real to yourself anyway, and hopefully to your reader. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. To the point where, of course, when hard things happen to your characters, if somebody dies or is hurt, or life is on the line, you feel as attached to them as if they were real people. I mean, we all cry just like our readers, at the sad things that happen to our characters. And although we do make them happen, and I suppose in the end are responsible, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it just feels like this is what happens when you put these people and these things together. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little shocking even to the writer. The other thing that happens is when you're writing a novel is that sometimes your characters actually come about because you need them to do a particular thing, because you're trying to do a particular thing in the plot, and that's another really fascinating thing. In this book, for instance, The Golden Child, my main character Beth had to be a particular type of person because I needed her to be that for the book I was actually wanting to write. So I wanted to have a mother who was a very good mother, a very conscientious mother who did everything she could possibly do to make her children's lives as good as they could be, to nurture her children, to make her children good as well, not just to give them everything they needed or wanted, but to make sure that they were on the right track sort of ethically. And that was a really important thing. I didn't want a mother who was ambivalent about mothering. I wanted a mother who really enjoyed the whole mothering thing, apart from, just the other difficult things that come into the lives of all mothers, contemporary mothers anyway, wondering, whether we should work or not work. I mean, there's always things that are difficult about mothering, but Beth had to be a good mother, and so that's who she is. And the reason Beth had to be a good mother in this novel is because Beth has a bad child, and I wanted to look at what it would be like to be the mother who'd done everything they could, everything in their power to make a good child, and then to find that you actually are the mother of the child who is the bully, the bad kid, the kid that other people's mothers don't want around their children. And sadly for Beth, this is what happens. And you can. It's something I think all mothers wonder about. We do our best mostly, and we try our hardest, and and mostly we are on the other side of that equation. Not the mothers whose child have done something particularly awful, but for poor Beth, this is what happens. And I think I had to make her like this to make the shock and the burden even harder to bear. My other characters in the book too have also come about because of a sort of a necessity in the plot.